Okay, we are ready. Tournament number 4, everybody. The qualifier for the X Cup Fall, for the playoffs. 4th qualifier here today, and we're starting with the Hardos against ORDAH. Which actually, if you flip it, is Hardo. And I'm just now realizing that. I don't know what exactly is going on. They've been called ORDAH for a while. And ORDAH, when you spell it like this, it doesn't really mean anything. So I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to be a pun. But we got a couple of German players on that thing. And yeah, you could actually read that as a German word that is a little bit written in a dialect. But I'm just now realizing that if you flip that, it's actually spelling Hardo. So I'm not sure if there's like a double meaning or anything happening here. It's interesting to say the least. So the Hardos against Hardo, apparently. Okay, I see what you're doing. And we have a best of 1. Again, when the early rounds, next round is going to be the semi, then we're heading into best of 3 territory. Hardos are playing today. We got Team ORDAH signed up. Again, all of these teams are playing for points. The farther you are in the tournament, in the qualifier, the more points you gather for the leaderboard. And at the end of the season, the top 8 of the leaderboard move on to the playoffs, where 4,000 euros of prize money are on the line. Now we got a Stitches ban, and we have a Haka. So, yep. Plus on the other side, it is, again, the Junkrat ban. I'm a little bit torn on Junkrat as an observer. I'm a little bit torn on him because on the one hand, he's kind of fun and adds a bit of chaos in there. On the other hand, he's always laughing like a maniac, and if anybody is allowed to act like a maniac on stream here, then it's me. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure if I like that. But either way, Malfurion as a first pick. Yeah, we're taking apparently a page out of the Korean playbook and are prioritizing Malfurion here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Stukov popping up on the other side. Depending on composition, of course. But we get a Brightwing, the Fruit Fly, with Varian? I mean, don't get me wrong. Brightwing is now part of the European meta. So, fair. But with Varian, I really expected a Stukov. Because if you're already going for a sniper comp, why wouldn't you just go for the silence and the lurking arm here, right? But fair enough, so we got Brightwing in instead. Has also a CC, and therefore you can help Varian after he initially gets the taunt in. And CC the target even further, so it's not like Brightwing is useless in that sense. But we get Medivh on the other side, and Diablo, Leyline into Apocalypse, everybody. Oh yeah, a 0 on Medivh. Medivh players lately, they are suffering a bit. Didn't Hazu in the last tournament also play Medivh on Tomb of the Spider Queen again and got murdered? Like absolutely crushed there? Am I misremembering that, or that just happened, right? So yeah, Medivh players lately, they are really, really unlucky. They are always struggling. But again, what else do we get? For now, we got our Vala band out. That's already a bit of a sad moment. Could always follow up with the Rain of Vengeance on a Leyline and Apocalypse combo. And here comes the Tychus ban. I mean, we are on Towers of Doom, so you still need a side laner for the Hardos, preferably with a stun as well. But I want to see what the burst looks like. What's the burst damage for the boys? We got Hazu still waiting for one. And Nick, of course, our X-Factor player for them. Maiev, Kerrigan, both up if he wants to play something in that vein. Yeah, well, just the birdie, okay, there's the global, double global even. And we get a Hogger. I am really curious what Nick is playing. So far, I'm looking at this draft and I'm like, what? I mean, it's not horrible, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of combos that I expected to come out here that they didn't go for. So it's interesting to just see that. Falset is not usually the bursty hero that you want to have when you're playing around Varian here. But of course he allows you for a lot of engages, disengages, and simply just moves the top lane, allows for that quick rotation and the macro play. And with the good Gust, you can also ruin the combo a bit with the Leyline into the Apocalypse. We get Urel for even a beefier front line, and Sylvanas for Blades. So if they get some kills and can push on the lane, they can easily convert a Bell Tower here. But again, Nick as the last pick. I mean, he needs to bring the damage. Falstad alone is not going to be enough. And there's, of course, Hogger on their side too, but what's it going to be? Cassia. Cassia for Nick? Alright. I mean, guys, stage is set. Towers of Doom, our first and only map in this series. And with that, we get the party started and see which team moves on into the semi-finals. So Towers of Doom, everybody. ORDAH against the Hardos. Hardos against ORDAH. Hazops on Falstad. We got Benny on Varian for the blue team. Copenhagen is playing Hogga, Nick on Cassia, and Yazu on Brightwing. On the right side of the map, ORDAH with Blade on Sylvanas. We got Zero on Medivh. Wit on Malfurion. Mimikyu is playing Diablo. And Soaking is sitting on Urel here today on the side lane. So a huge front line between the two of them. Dibbles and Urel. Definitely going to be tough to break through. But let's see what the Hardos can pull off here. It's all about the points. Performing well here, going to the semis at least, maybe even reaching the grand final or taking the crown is going to give you quite a few points for the leaderboard, and that's where the teams want to be at. And of course, the more qualifiers you participate in, the better your chances to place well. It's not only about placing in the top 8, it's also about placing high enough so that you get a good seeding spot. And Benny is a bit in trouble. Bad Benny getting chased hard here, but he gets out. So does Diablo. They're going for Hogga. Can't kill him either. And Benny's already waiting in the wings for another quick engage and makes it happen against Urel. But she's able to get out too. Alright, 11 stacks for Medivh, by the way. I mean, damn son. 40 seconds in and Medivh is at 11 stacks. A great job by Zero, so now I would actually make sure to stay alive. But talking about staying alive, Benny is dead. Benny down, the tank once again eliminated here at the beginning of the game. But they go for the counter kill, and with the help of Brightwing and of course Cassia, Malfurion dies. As long as they keep Medivh alive, I think they're going to be fine here. Blade also with a clutch escape. But that was a really nice counter kill from the Hardos. And you look at the quests on Falstad's side, and you can see that Medivh is not the only one that is doing a great job stacking. We have 20 for Hazop. 20. We're like a minute in, and he is sitting at an easy 20. This is getting a bit crazy here. And I like it, Like a really good job early on in the game to get those stacks together. So nicely done all the way up at the top. There's now also camps to be taken. The same is going to happen at the bottom of the map too. In fact, one of the camps was already claimed. But the fight still going on here. And with Sylvanas' help, they can take those pumpkins down. Yeah, but talking about taking things down, seems like at the top lane, thanks to the double global, Urel is a problem. The Space Goat in trouble and might even die here. Oh! And he gets out. 300 hit points is a lot more than it looked like. But that's the beauty of having Hazu on Falstad and then Brightwing in. Both of them can simply move top and then turn it into a quick 3v1. Now, of course, that rotation cost them quite a bit of positioning down at the bottom of the map, where we are now only relying on 2 heroes for the blue team, and that allowed Team ORDAH to finally get their own pumpkin camp and maybe do a little bit here. So I mean, we are currently with 16 stacks on Medivh, getting a little bit closer to at least a halftime show for him, but they're pushing through the bot lane now, and they're really capitalizing on the fact that there's not enough people here to defend. So they take one of the towers down very easily. Altars are activating in 6, and they're still absolutely murdering that bot lane. Whereas the blue team is trying to make the play for the top altars, I suppose. But still, the entire wall down here is gone, so that's not too shabby for Team ORDAH. And now, don't get me wrong, everybody. Of course, you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, Hardos, definitely the favorite. One of the top 4 teams in Europe at this point, Team ORDAH. They got good players here. We've seen Wit, we've seen Blade, we've seen others on their side that have been playing in plenty of teams. At the same time, this is a best of 1. And if you make a mistake or two, then you can easily be eliminated from the tournament. This is one of the earlier rounds. That's the beauty and the curse of open qualifiers. Anybody can sign up, and early rounds are usually best of 1s, and only later on in the game are you playing out best of 3s. Obviously, once we're... Oh no! Medivh! Oh, from hero to 0. Yep, 3 kills to 1. Level 7 is in, and all the stacks are lost. Medivh is gone, and that is a sad day for Medivh. And of course for Team ORDAH as well. So, yeah. We got 29 stacks, by the way, for Hazu, so he is completing his quest in just a second. But oh boy, that was just suffering. All the stacks gone, and with that, very likely not a chance for him to bring it back here. So, yeah. But okay, either way, we got Copenhagen now on the rotation towards the top. They also did a fair amount of damage here and took the entire wall down, so good for them. But down at the bottom of the map, Medivh has now decided that he is pouting a little bit and is just playing the birdie, flying around. Ah, well, actually he decided against it. I'm not quite sure if dropping down right in front of Varian is really the play to make, but they're trying to gang up on him with everything they have. The problem is that Falstad is already here, and we could technically even have... sorry, Brightwing is here, and Falstad could technically fly down too, but is busy in the mid lane doing his thing. So they are starting to outplay them a little bit on the macro end. It's only small victories that they get here on the lane, but of course that adds up over time and can then quickly escalate, especially if they're able to get another couple of kills in one of the bigger fights. At least up here, Urel is trying. I don't think she can do too much because Falstad is already here and Brightwing can always move in. So for Soaking, that didn't really do him any favors. He's now insanely low, has to top the fountain, which he does. At the bottom, they are trying to cap the camp, or cap the altar. But we have 13,000 damage now for Sylvanas, and here comes again the blue team with everything they can muster. Zero is nearly dead and pops the portal, so everybody can escape here, but Blade gets attacked, the shield not enough. Zero in trouble, Blade 2, and they both get out. Oh, ho, ho, ho. But that was clutch. That was really, really clutch. So now the channel from Falstad is nearly completed. Hazo shooting another 4 shots against the red team's core. And that drops the boys down to 28. And of course, level 10 is about to be ready for the Hardos as well. And they could use that here at the bot lane to pressure this a bit further. Might not get the bell tower, but again, if you at least remove that wall, that would be a step into the right direction. Taunt against Sylvanas, good shield, Leyline is in, and there's the Gust. Apox so far not used, Hazo is a bit low, but he's able to get away. And Blade also has to retreat once again since he's low in HP. But the shields from Medivh are currently on point. He's back on 11 stacks. Not something to write home about just yet. But yeah, maybe later he can make his parents proud. For now, Zero is just going straight up for the bird form again, double checking everything that's happening. Hazo is sitting at 45 stacks now. And in the middle they're going for Urel once more. So, yeah. It's... Oh, the combo! That could be a kill! And it is a kill! Hazu is down! Yeah, Team ORDAH coming in. By the way, Team ORDAH... Like, ORDAH is probably another thing that Hanzo yells. ORDAH! ORDAH! That would... either Arnie or Hanzo. One of the... That's a quote from one of the two of them. Yeah, Medivh in the back. Also trouble. Zero. They want him. They want him. They want the stacks. Look at Benny. Benny has one thought on his head, and he is just coming... Oh my god, look at you. Zipping around the corner here. Fair enough. Varian is going straight in for the taunts at this point. But I actually like really how the red team is fighting back right now. They're doing a great job on all of this. And yeah, me likey. So over to the top right. Soaking is already doing his thing. And Hazorps on the top left. So we got an even exchange in bell tower shots. 32 against 24. So still a lead for the Hardos, but we all know how quickly that can flip on Towers of Doom. So for now, it's just pretty much about who wins the next team fight, who can maybe push with the Sylvanas or without her. So we'll see what exactly they can do once the next fight is in. I mean, when it comes to the damage right now, if you're looking over to Nick, Cassia is sitting at 33,000 damage and is easily taking the top damage in the game with that. We have Sylvanas, for example, only on 21k. And besides that, not really too many of the heroes that chip in a whole bunch. Falstad is sitting at 16. Junker at least at 21. But they get Cassia at the bottom. Top side, Urel is able to escape. And with Cassia now falling, all of a sudden the bot lane is wide open. And they need to try and make something happen at the top, but Soaking is delaying it as much as he can and pushes them back out, creates a bit of space, tries to stay alive here, but doesn't even get to pop the ult. Nice coordination from the Hardos, 13 versus 13, so they are trying to exchange bell towers, but the rotation is underway as Team ORDAH is moving in to defend their bell tower. And they have the bot lane control now. Sylvanas is pushing this out. On the bottom lane, obviously the most important one on this map, since you have two pumpkin cams rotating through it. Falstad already flying down. And the altars are activating in 20, so plenty of time for the red team to move down here. But the fight is, again, happening in the middle of the map. Mimikyu pushing in. There's the Gust. Bailey looking for the taunt. Big ley line. White Malfurion still dies. The ley line was great, but Malfurion is down. Good old Arthritis boy is dead. Yeah, if you ever log Malfurion in, by the way, for like any custom game or whatever, look at his model. Like, honestly, he like puts this one hand forward and is shaking like crazy. I mean, the guy is 10,000 years old, so of course he's already a little bit senile, and yeah. But yeah, he is shaking. He's honestly, there's no surprise to me that he goes down that quickly in a big fight. He is fragile as fuck. I mean, damn son. Yeah, that guy is, yeah. Way too old, way past his prime. But there we go. We got already the quick kill on Brightwing. And yeah, you know, if he was a Spry in Spring Chicken, something that is a little bit more agile, a little bit more vital, like Illidan, for example, you know, then I don't know, that would be a different thing. But yeah, he's just an old geezer. Okay. Later Boomer. Anyways, they are gonna escort those 3 too, aren't they? So yep, there we go. First one is already in. They're trying for another kill. It's 4 kills to 5. They've taken the lead in experience, guys. By now we have got the red team nearly on level 16, so they have taken a pretty significant lead here. Now, I gotta say that up here at the top, this bell tower is gonna fall eventually. I would be really shocked if they can't take that one down. But a level 16 talent advantage is just what the red team needs right now. They honestly need to get a couple of bell towers, and the best thing that they can do for themselves to make that happen is get a talent advantage. But the Hardos are, yeah, pretty close behind them, so it will be an even fight, I suppose. Blade pausing. Not sure if somebody dropped here. It honestly doesn't seem like it. Maybe a couple of problems with voice. But to be sure, like, if you just double check a little bit what's happening right now. We got level 16 in, we got 5 bell towers to 3, but they are still way behind with the 18 points against the 31. So it's really important that ORDAH keeps up the advantage in bell towers for as long as possible, and they need to win another fight. They've been doing pretty well taking the lead here, and the last few battles have gone a bit better for them. Also, Medivh is back up to 32 stacks, which is actually hugely important, because if he's able to now complete that, that would add another big advantage to them and really help them out with the damage there too. Now, the combos are still alive and ready to go. They are not on cooldown for the Leyline and the Apocalypse, so that would be kind of neat. And they have a fair amount of control. Now, Sylvanas is very likely going to go for the Pumpkin Camp down here, try and set that up. We have a single altar spawning next in the middle of the map, but it's going to come down to teamfight potential. And I want to stress again that while Cassia is by far the highest damage dealer in the game, and all the guys on the blue team are rocking superior numbers, it's still 5 kills to 4. And ORDAH is ahead, and that is actually quite impressive if you think about it, because they are the team that goes up against 2 global, and they themselves don't have a global. So if you take a closer look at the experience here, just to see how that pans out, it's Urel taking an insane amount. I mean, Soaking has to... I mean, again, like, justifying the name choice here, he's rotating between the top and the middle and is just Soaking. Yes, you guessed it already. So with 16,000 experience gathered, he is way ahead of Junkrat. And that is, I mean, again, that has a huge impact here. They are 3,000 ahead in the minion experience, so that matters quite a lot. In heroes, they're not that far behind either. So they're doing a fairly decent job with all of that, and that gets them a small lead. Now, it's very likely not translating into a talent advantage for the next battle, but if they can keep that up a bit, then we're likely going to see them also hit an early 20. But I've been lying to you, by the way, too. So we have a triple altar phase coming up. I'm not... Yeah, apparently I'm in my old days... I'm blind, I need glasses. So triple altar is coming up. So this is obviously one of the most important phases right now, because if you get 2 out of 3 with 5 controlled, then you're already reducing them by 10 points, and that brings you very, very close to all of this. But either way, off we go. So Hogger at the top is doing his thing and takes the bell tower. So it's 4 versus 4 now. Yeah, it was bound to happen. It's a little bit of a setback in the sense that now they can't get the massive lead, but if they can get a few kills here, that would go a long way. And of course, for Medivh, it's kind of important to try and make sure that he's getting his stacks together. Yeah, he's working on that, but take that portal, bro, or you're going to be in trouble. Now, Falstad is at the bottom of the map because we still have a couple of pumpkins moving through there, so they need to defend against that. And that's why they give up the top altar, so the shots are fired, and that puts them down 23 to 14. Still a very significant lead, and Falstad is now allowed to retake the bell tower at the bottom. But top side, the same thing is going to happen. Soaking is going to need a little bit longer, I suppose, but it should happen fairly soon. 34 for 0. Make that 35. Yeah, he's getting closer. They're trying to keep Dibbles alive. Leyline, Apoc, and he still dies. Diablo, even with the portal, he still dies. They try to go for Benny. He nearly gets dropped, but he makes it out, and they turned it against Malfurion and nearly dropped him too. There comes the jump. 36 to stacks for Medivh. And he might get it, but there's the kill. There's the kill. They actually made it happen. And they get a second one. And they complete the quest too. The chase is on. Team Order, everybody. Nick is dead. The ley line on the bird. Hazo on cooldown. And he's dead as well. They get everybody with the exception of Hogger. Oh my god. Team Order with a big turnaround. And apparently they're not quite sure what to do. I mean, come on, boys. Push those bell towers. Get that boss. Do something. You can't just simply YOLO around here. I honestly think that that's not the right move here. Get the tower first and then go for the pumpkins afterwards. You have such a huge window of opportunity here. Use it. But yeah, that was a bit nasty. Dibbles, of course, back. He was fully stacked when he died, and he's back to 55 stacks right now. So they're trying to take the bottom bell tower, and they do. They also reclaim the top, so it gives them the lead. But I honestly think they could have gotten a little bit more here. I think if they would have been more decisive, they could have either taken the boss as well, or they could have escorted some of those pumpkins in. So this should have been a little bit better. I mean, anyways, it's a 2-level lead for them now. They're at level 20 any seconds, and they get the 5 shots fired. So all of a sudden, the Hardos are in trouble. 18 against 14. That is not a huge advantage. That's not something where you can just, like, chill and just sit there and do your thing. No, you have to step it up a little bit. Yeah. I'm a little bit worried for them. I'm not gonna lie. They had a good game so far, but they never really pulled massively ahead. I talked about it earlier. And now it seems like the red team might have an upper hand and an advantage that they can run for quite a long time. Order needs to do something here. It sounds a little bit weird. You would think instinctively, hey, the Hardos have to make a move. No, the Hardos have to sit tight. You need to sit back and need to soak experience and try to stop the bleeding a little bit. But Team Order is at 20. You have a talent advantage. You have a Storm talent right now. You need to do something. I honestly even expected them to think about the boss. I guess the main reason why they're not going for it is that the Hardos would then be able to retake the bottom bell tower. So instead they're trying to escort a couple of pumpkins through. But with Sylvanas, you could also play the bell tower game and just try to take one in the middle. But they're looking for kills, and they bait out Falstad's Mighty Gust. There's the ley line though. Apoc, and it's a bit late, but it still connects with 2 of them. Diablo was trying to move in and couldn't really do anything here. Malfurion also with his own ult. Now, that was a little bit unnecessary. Yeah. They didn't really do anything with that level 20, I'm sorry to say. I think that could have been played out a little bit better. So, Team Order, great plays, some nice team fights, but I think once they had the level 20 advantage, they needed to make better plays here. Easier said than done, totally agree. But yeah, if you have an advantage like this, do something with it. Try to take that boss, try to take another bell tower, put a bit of pressure on. They at least get 1 out of the 2, so they put them down to 13 to 14. They have that level 20 still, but if they can't take that bell tower, for example, or that altar, that might be an issue. Medivh cheating as usual with the 20. Where's the Apoc when you need it? Yeah, it's on cooldown. But they might just get the channel from Wit. Interrupt. And yes, there it is. But they go for Hogger. And there's the wind tunnel. Hogger in trouble for a moment. Good shield again for Medivh. And they're trying to make the plays here. But Diablo is eating tons of damage. They want him. They're going for him. The Lord of Terror on the retreat. And so's the Space Goat. Hazops is attempting to channel. That's not going to work. Red team is ready for a fight. But it's 20 versus 20 now. Brightwing talking to invisible friends again. And yeah, those are a lie. Brightwing has no friends. The only friends that Brightwing has are the non-existent ones. hence the talent name. Yeah, they go for Dibbles again, and those shields! Diablo, the APOC, they need to counter kill, and they get it! Yes, they do! Varian is dead, but so is Urel. The Space Goat is down. And Team ORDAH losing the fight. A 1-for-2 trade in favor of the Hardos. They get the shots 3, and they put now another cap into their belt. 11-13, the stacks. And yeah, I just feel that ORDAH needed to do more when they were ahead. Rule number 1 of competitive play: when you are ahead, get more ahead. That's what you need to do. Yeah. I don't know. Again, it's a little bit crazy. And here's the wind tunnel again. Oh, Medivh! That's a kill! No, not like this. Not the staggered deaths. In a best-of-1 setup, ORDAH had a real chance to take the Hardos down. But their chances are starting to dwindle a bit because they have staggered deaths on their side. Guys, this can't happen to you. If you play and you have 2 heroes down on your end, the job of the remaining 3 heroes is priority number 1, stay the fuck alive. That's their first job. Because if you got staggered deaths, then you have a problem. So now that the bell tower is taken, they try to go for the boss, and well, here's the party train. They are going to lose this one. They're already retreating. Boss will be attacked by the red team, by the blue team. And they're going to lose that too. They're going to be down to the single digits. Things are spiraling out of control now. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. 13-11. Shots are fired. Here we go. One hit after another. And Team ORDAH has to bring it back at the bottom fight. This is their big chance. It's 9 kills to 9. Yes, you heard right. 9. Just in case there was any misunderstanding, it's 9 kills for each team. So we got level 21 on the board too. This is the big fight. This is the one that could decide it all one way or another. The game is not quite going to end here, but the advantage out of winning this battle is going to be significant. Nice wind tunnel by Arzu. Big wind tunnel. APOC is out. Malfurion is dead. The ley line might save the day for them. They can retreat, but they have to give this one up. And you can math this one out yourself. We're looking at 3 points on the core for Team ORDAH. And that puts them in the real difficult spot because even Pumpkins can at this point end the game. Even that's the thing. So for now, the pressure's on. The Hardos are trying to take the bot lane. Hazu is at 93 stacks for Falstad, sitting at 46,000 damage, 97,000 for Cassia. Cassia is joining the very elite 6-digit club. So, a couple more hits in. Only 2 that have not died in this game, by the way, are Sylvanas and Hogger. And I mean, I don't want to trash talk, but that's a bit of a surprise for me. Blade on Sylvanas, 0 deaths, the only one that didn't die. Good job, nicely done. When he was playing side lane, he normally had a much bigger problem. They're granted, frontline, duh, but still. So here come the Pumpkins, and you have to deal with them. Malfurion is back, and with Sylvanas, it should be possible. Good gust again. Urel isolated, never had a chance to pop her ult. She goes down, that's the Space Goat eliminated. And this is where the rubber meets the road, everybody. They're down to a single point on the core against 13. This is not going to be easy, if not impossible. Mid lane gets pressured a bit more as well. In this case, only minions. But of course, there's still that global to consider that we have on their side with Harzobs. He can put on side lane pressure. Both of those bell towers, the one in the middle and the top lane, have already suffered damage. And we're looking at a single altar for now. Yeah, 100,000 damage. He crossed over into the 6 digits. Cassia with the big numbers. Blades, they're not making a play for it. But yes, bot lane is now a problem. In the middle, there we have the altar. They need a very decisive fight, and they need it soon. Leyline into APOC. They need to make it happen. Those Pumpkins are marching, and they're not going to stop. There's the taunt. There's the shield. They're trying to save Dibbles. The ley line completely hitting nothing. And at the same... Oh, well, actually hitting 3 in the bush, and Foresight is down. All right. Nicely done. Urel on her way back. Someone needs to stop these pumpkins. Fight or no fight. If one of them makes it through, it is GG. So Hogga is trying to make sure that they can get in. And here's Sylvanas, Blade and Soaking. They're the ones slowing this down as much as they can, as the rest of the team is still fighting in the middle, trying to delay any potential channel on the altar. It's down to this battle right now. The pumpkins are finally eliminated, and they're making their move over, and the Hardos move back. They don't want to get snowballed here. They don't want to get chased too hard. Here's the ley line. No! The cooldown came back, but Zero wasn't in position any longer. They want more. They want more, apparently. They're not going for the channel yet, but as I say, Wit finally retreats towards the altar and starts to take it here. Of course, that's only 3 points fired, so it's still 1 point against 10 in terms of core hit points, but they're staying in the game. Now, the problem is that the boss is up in another 50 seconds. And that means that you have not only the pumpkins that can end the game, you have at the same time the boss that can be taken and the next altar phase, of course, too. So what they need are good team fights. And just look at the Hardos. They're not even giving them any rest here. There's the attack again. Good ley line, though. They can set something up. A poke. There's the hits, but the wind tunnel ruining the plays. Hazu pushing people into corners since 2017 in Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, what a monster here. So now here we go. 11 to 10 kills. And it's at least 4 versus 4 bell towers. Next objective, double altar topside. Double altar. Oh, it's getting spicy, isn't it? They are holding on longer than I expected them to. The red team. We got now 11 kills to 10, level 23, and they make the only play that they can. The thing is, they don't have an ult up. There's no ult up, none. And it seems like the Hardos are going to let it happen. Yeah, Hardos are going to let that happen. They're dealing with the bot lane right now, so the boss is going to be taken, and that's a huge sigh of relief for Team ORDAH, but it's of course about the position on those 2 altars now. So 4 shots are fired, that's 6 to 1. And the cooldowns are going to be back. Dibbles needs another 23 seconds before he has his apocalypse. But there it is. And they forced the fight before that's the case. There's the portal. Polymorph! No! Diablo is down. He'll be back. But that is a big setback. And now the channel needs to be stopped by the rest of the team before the Lord of Terror makes his way back into the fight. Hazu could, of course, always try and cheese it, fly over here and sneak that. If nobody pays attention to the minimap, something like that might work, but chances of it happening are, of course, very, very slim, especially since UL has now started to take this. 120 stacks by now for the birdie, and here we go. Shots are fired. 2 points to 1. It's all about the altar here, guys. It's down to the wire at this point. Who makes the play? Leyline is up. Leyline is ready. It hits 2. Where's the APOC? Give me the APOC. The combo. And they cannot get the kill. They go for Nick, but he turns it quickly. And everybody's low for the red team. They brought it down to a final fight. That in and of itself is insane. But here it is. 5 seconds for the gust. Once the wind tunnel is in, I think he can just push them out. And, well, that's likely what's going to happen. Another Moonfire interrupting. But there's the approach. There comes the gas. They're trying to create the space, but they just can't. Diablo even hellgating it out. Urel is dead. And now the damage against Sylvanas. It's not looking good for Team ORDAH. Diablo is dead, and this time for good. This is game, everybody. They're taking them down 1 by 1. Zero with another interrupt, but he's likely going to be attacked by Hazu in a second, especially since Brightwing is coming in for the assist as well. They fought a brave and violent battle, but this is going to be the end of it. Nice place by Medivh, but this is, of course, it. Nicely done. Great performance by Team ORDAH, but it is the Hardos that claim victory on Towers of Doom and move on to the next round of the qualifier. GG and well played. Great map by the 2 teams at hand here. Nicely done.